I'm Michael Barnett, Assistant Professor of Lighting Design in the Department of Theater Arts, and I taught my Theater 201 Appreciation of the Theater course as an online course this past summer. As part of my online class, we were able to introduce many new technologies to my teaching. We used Google SketchUp, which allowed the students to be able to actually draft and create their own theater spaces, their own blocking exercises as though they were directing a show. They were able to design their own spaces in terms of the scenic design and how the actors would move through the space. This was a wonderful tool for the students because it actually got them engaged in the process. Instead of simply listening to me talk about how a director goes about planning these things out or how a scenic designer works, they were able to use this tool in the online environment to create this three-dimensional world themselves and fully manipulate it, and then share it with me and with the other members of the class to get feedback, and so they could see artistically how the other members of the course responded to the material and how that differed from their own, and which was a wonderful opportunity to see how you can have a set material and every single person is going to interpret it differently. In addition to Google SketchUp, we also used a program called Twine. This is a storytelling interface. It's entirely web-based, very much like a choose-your-own-adventure type model. And so what I did with that program was I used it to try to lead the students through a day in the life of an actor. I was trying to express to them that an actor isn't just a person who memorizes some lines, gets up and plays on stage and then goes home at night, but in fact that it's a very grueling profession, and that even when you do everything right, sometimes you fail. So they would go through and make their choices throughout the narrative, and regardless of what choice they made, most of them would end up actually not getting the job. There was only one correct path, and they'd have to go back and start over and feel probably some level of the frustration that an actor would feel as they're trying to break into the industry. In addition to Twine, I had many other web-based tools that I would use. There was a website that was found that allowed the students to go in and do costume design work, basically an online paper doll type program where I gave them a selection from the play Macbeth and asked them to go in and actually do a costume design for the character of Lady Macbeth. The discussion boards on Blackboard were invaluable in tracking the thoughts of the students throughout the material, throughout our lectures that had been previously recorded, about the work that they were doing in SketchUp, and the discussions often would carry on much longer than it would in a typical classroom. They would carry on, some of them carried on for a number of weeks, well after we had moved on to a different unit. So the discussion tools were excellent and really enabled me to have a stronger connection to these students, which was an initial concern of mine, was how would I interface with the students, how would I know and be able to track their progress beyond just the grades, but actually understanding what it is that they were taking from the class, and those discussion tools were wonderful. One of the things that was really exciting for me in this class, and I had previously taught this course as a hybrid class, was the way that I'm able to integrate new information instantaneously using Blackboard. I could find an article in the New York Times talking about the state of theater in America, or I could get a speech from the head of the NEA talking about funding cuts to our industry and to all arts around the country. And I could share that with the students pretty much instantaneously, which is really exciting and wonderful. It has rejuvenated my teaching experience and really made it a lot of fun, both for myself and I believe for the students as well.